One of the suspects arrested along with Yoshitha Rajapaksa yesterday has been transferred to the prison hospital. The suspect in question was admitted to the prison hospital for treatment of a persisting ailment resulting from injuries sustained in a road accident prior to his arrest.
The Kaduwela magistrate ordered last night that 5 suspects, including Yoshitha Rajapaksa, Nishantha Ranatunga and Rohan Valivita, be taken into remand custody.
The charges were filed under the Money Laundering Act over the misuse of funds and criminal breach of trust. Some of the charges that were filed are for bailable offences. With regard to some of the other charges, it is the magistrate's prerogative. When acting on his prerogative, the magistrate must consider if there is a risk that the suspect will flee the country or if the suspect can exert pressure. Since Yoshitha Rajapaksa is an officer in the Navy, it is exceedingly clear that he cannot flee the country. It is the FCID that must submit evidence in this case, and we will have to consider the evidence submitted by the FCID.
The suspects were brought to the Valikadu remand prison last night.
The suspects are being detained at the J unit of the Colombo remand prison. One of the suspects was admitted to the prison hospital on medical recommendation. Only gallowers can provide security within the premises of the prison, but we have asked for police protection for the external gates. The prison is providing food for all the suspects. None of the suspects have made requests to receive food from outside.
Meanwhile, a group including former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and MP Namal Rajapaksa visited the detainees this afternoon.
It is okay if political vengeance is exacted from politicians, but it is a problem when that vengeance is directed at their children. I wouldn't mind if they arrest me and put me in a cell. There is a doctor here. He is a shareholder. He was told to mention Yoshitha's name and that they would release him or they would imprison him if he refused. This is the truth. This is good governance, apparently. Even the B report does not properly mention the charges against them. They have turned their attention to exacting vengeance from us and are happily whiling away their time.
Several politicians commented on the arrest today.
There are no problems in the country. The only problem was the Rajapaksa family. Now the Rajapaksa family too is finished. One of them was arrested yesterday and more will be arrested in the near future. Isn't this the case? How can the cabinet spokesperson say they will arrest 2 Rajapaksas next week? The court will determine who is right and who is wrong. But we are saddened by the fact that Yoshitha Rajapaksa has been remanded. He is the son of the former president and we do not like it when any of our friends are remanded. But we must also say that when the law is enforced, it is good if it is equal to all. Although Basil Rajapaksa was remanded, he did not spend a day in prison. Since he is Ranil Wickremesinghe's friend, he spent the entire 3 months in the merchant ward of the National Hospital in Colombo. Kumar Gunaratnam is facing charges over his passport. He has been remanded. But in the case of the passports of Vimal Veeravans and his wife, Ranil Wickremesinghe intervened to prevent them from being taken into remand custody. So the law must be equal to all. It does not matter if Hirunika Premachandra is from the UNP. If she abducts someone in a black defender, then the law must be enforced against her.
Hirunika Premachandra UNP කියලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. යා කළු ඩිෆෙන්ඩර් ගිහලා අතුරු දහම් කරා නම් කාවාරි එයාටත් නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න ඕන.
Speaking at a blood donation campaign held in Pannala this evening, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa had this to say on the matter.
I had to send my son to the armed forces against a backdrop where men were hesitant to enlist. My son Yoshitha. There are 5 days of the week where the courts are in session, but they arrested him on a Saturday morning and put him in prison. They say the order will only be issued in another 14 days. I asked Yoshitha how he was doing when I visited him today. He said the conditions were better than in the Trincomalee camp. We have made mistakes too, I won't deny it. But when their sons and daughters were caught up in various issues, our humaneness prevailed. Recently they searched for gold in the swimming pool, claiming that I had filled the pool with sand to hide the gold. So the heads of the CID believed this was true and searched for it. They found a pair of slippers. Then they checked to see if the slippers were made of gold. Obviously they were not. So they concluded the slippers must belong to me.